We got an Agar Agar Cookie topping biscuit gear and tart guide. With that, thank you for tuning in. We'll come back to that one last piece in a second here. As always, we absolutely love doing these guides. We got a ridiculous cookie here that's super fun, and we're going to give you all the information that you need to know to set you up for success. This will be version 1 of this particular topping and biscuit guide, my friends. Now, if you got questions or comments along the way, let me know. I love to hear from you and would love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. Let us know what you think of this particular cookie, and thank you as always for your support. I appreciate the likes and the subs. All right, so as we always do, we'll walk through the cookie. We'll break this one down. We're going to give the biscuits, the toppings. Don't have the tarts yet, so we'll come back to that. That's why I said version 1, and then we'll go for a run so you can see exactly how this cookie operates. All right, so let's get into it. Agar Agar Cookie, the new one here with the lovely, lovely new update, my friends. Super, super excited about this. As always, couple things here that we do need to pay attention to, because that update is called the lovely, lovely Flame Awakens. So there we go. I was missing it. It was on the tip of my tongues. All right, so back to it. A couple things to understand on this one in particular. So what we have is an ambush cookie, a middle laner, except this thing has got a ton of elements, literally all 5 elements. So that's something new. We haven't seen this. We've actually seen up to like 2. Frilled jellyfish would be one example. I think there's some other cookies as well. However, we'll leave it at that. Now, here is what's really crazy. Ravenous Mirror. This thing's a 15-second cooldown. Agar Agar Cookie mimics the skills of the legendary guardians of nature: Fire Spirit Cookie, Stormbringer Cookie, Sea Fairy Cookie, Wind Archer Cookie, and Frost Cookie, Queen Cookie. If she enters with a battle with one of these cookies on the team, she will mimic their skill. If there are none, she will use a skill randomly. So you can apply it into the right elemental type. It's going to be very, very important in terms of team building. Using a skill applies immunity to shackles on allies, and a debuff that reduces attack speed and move speed on enemies. So a couple things here. We got Fire Spirit Mirror. Flame Explosion periodic damage, 8 hits over 3.2 seconds, 56.2% damage. Burn damage there, 47%. Every 1 second for 5 seconds stacks up to 1. We got Stormbringer Mirror. Stormbringer's punishment damage, 400% of attack. Zap damage there as well. We got Sea Fairy Mirror. Water Pillar plus Seafoam damage. We have Wind Archer Mirror, last wind damage there of attack, stun for 2 seconds. Additionally, here we have Frost Queen Mirror, Squall damage plus freeze, and then buffs and debuffs upon using skill. Attack speed minus 25% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 1, move speed 20, and shackle immunity for 10 seconds. That's really nice on that immunity side. So we really need to think about how we're going to put this one together in totality. There's a couple different things. We're going to talk about them here in a second. First, though, we do need to promote and level up our cookie. I know many of you asked me about this level 80 jelly thing right here. It came from an event. We always like to call that out. We're going to go level 90 so we can see exactly what this thing's going to do. That's a lot of jellies, by the way. A lot of jelly. You know exactly how much it is. Now we can upgrade the skill set also. So if we go all the way up here, look at this. You can see the stuff really climb. Pretty awesome. I might as well do that. Let's drop it to 80 for now. There we go. We'll go to 80. Lots of improvement there. Look at this thing. Super nice in that power level. And additionally, now you can see all these going up. Okay. Pretty important. Now, what does that mean in terms of our biscuits and toppings? Actually, quite a bit. For a number of reasons here. So what do I mean by that? Well, for instance, you can have electric damage. We can go with fire damage here. We could also go with some of the other stuff from that perspective. You can keep those things in mind. I got to break some of these down and clear this away. Sorry, here we go. Let's do that. That's how we do it. There's some extra pieces. All right. So those things are pretty important that you can think about. Now, in my case, couple things here in the short term. I'm going to flip this one on: damage resist, debuff resist, and bypass. Actually, we'll go here instead because the ninja has it from the other events. You can check that one out here. We'll absolutely throw that on for now. All right, there we go. Let's do it. All right, so now we got ours on. So a couple things. Keep that in mind. If you run it in the electric or fire or something like that, you can get that amplifying damage. You definitely may want to do that. Now, additionally here, a couple things to think about in terms of our bonus effects. We do have a 15-second cooldown. That's pretty long. And additionally, everything else skills an attack. So we got a long cooldown and attack, and this thing's probably squishy. So things that I would consider is if you're going to be on the attack side and in PvP, think about the damage resist bypass, because once again, this is the only place you're going to get it. You do have damage resistance here for survivability. You could add HP. However, you might want to think about attack and then your cooldown there in terms of those pieces. Now, it's going to depend on what you do for your toppings. So let's go ahead. Don't forget, again, you can leverage those elementals here. I would ideally, we'll talk about this here in a second, move over to your toppings. First things first. This does use the resonant toppings, the new toppings. So make sure you can use them here. And you're probably going to want to combo them with the Spirit Cookie, Flame Spirit Cookie, Fire Spirit Cookie, all kinds of cookies, fire related. Anyway, those things you can use here, so keep that in mind. Now, additionally, we do have more slots. I like a lot of slots. So what do we want to do here in that scenario? Well, first and foremost, we can access those topping tarts. I haven't unlocked the mines yet, so stay tuned for that. Great time to like and subscribe, and version 2 of Agar Agar Cookie Toppings. Now, a couple things here. What I would do first is I would absolutely roll with these right here. You're going to want the Choco chocolates because you're going to want to get that cooldown on. Okay, so with the cooldown, that's going to be absolutely key. Now, if you go with the focus substats, you're going to have a couple different pieces in here. A couple things that I focus on these bonus effects if I'm going this route. I'm going to be on attack, and I'm going to be on damage resist, and then I'm probably going to be either on more cooldown or HP for that survivability. Those things are going to be super, super crucial for you to navigate and survive here. Now, if you go the other way and your set 2 here is attack, we got a couple of them, not enough. If they're attack, then you're going to want the substat to be focused on cooldown more so, and then those other ones that I talked about as well. Okay, so pairing these two things together is going to make a huge difference. The more cooldown here at that 16%, and it's going to depend on where you're at with your particular cookie. It's going to make a big difference for how you kind of blend this thing out. So first and foremost, stay on cooldown. You can use the resonance, you can get those tarts on there. We'll come back for that later and make it that much better. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go run through world exploration as I always do. We're going to move over back to 8. Then we're going to run Dark 829. If you're looking for some other guides here, like for Black Forest Cookie, we do have those, and you came to the right place. In the interim, though, we are going to go find a brand new Agar Agar Cookie and show you how this thing is going to work. Where are you? Where are you? Here we go.
I'm angry.
You are. Well, good. Can blow some steam off right now. All right, so here we go. You're going to see how this cookie's going to run. I will take the auto off for now. It will showcase everything else. So again, there's the mirror. Frost Queen it is. Now look at that timeline. We went from 15 seconds to 8 seconds. Here we go again. Fire! Look at that. It's nice. Very cool. And you can see shackle immunity and all these other pieces. Now, shackles actually be pretty nice for getting away from stun lock. There we go. Big damage. Then we'll go on auto. Nice. Look at that. Pretty fun. Water it is. We've seen everything, I think, right? Except for Wind Archer. More water. Oop, on to the last baddie. Oh, we got it. Look at that. So cool. Such an interesting cookie. And there's a lot of things that you can do there. Some randomness, absolutely. Now, randomness in this particular cookie's mind gets countered, though, remember, if you run it with one of those other legendaries. So it makes a big difference and amplifies those particular pieces. A nice include on the ambush side. And once again, if you focus in on that attack, that might give you a heavier hit versus some of this cooldown. However, the cooldown is going to make sure that you're getting through those pieces and you're staying on top of some of these other added effects that come with it at that 10-second stack to really lock down your opponent. Ideally, you want to be at least at that 10-second. and then start to think about that attack. With that, my friends, that is today's episode and guide for you here. Agar Agar Cookie when it comes to our toppings, biscuits, gear guide, and tarts. So stay tuned for that one. With that, if you still got questions, comments, let me know. I love to hear from you as always, and we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server, my friends. Also, thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow. We got affiliate links. Thank you to all of our members. We got those memberships available to you too. Something there for everyone. With that, get out there, enjoy this brand new cookie, Agar Agar Cookie. Let us know what you think. And until next time, keep on running.